Now, the comedy business is one that I would say makes you earn in a funny way. Getting people to laugh is actually no joke. And one man who does it effortlessly is my guest on the show today. He goes by the name Forever. I'll keep it short and simple. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, God. Okay, so, you've been in the business for a while now.
Yeah.
What's the journey been like? I know to make people laugh is hard, especially in this part of the world.
Yeah, because people have different kind of problems. Some problems are demonic, some problems are financially influenced. So you don't even need the comedian. Once they receive a laugh, they start laughing. Yeah. But as a comedian, you now have, when you get on stage, you know you're meeting all manner of human beings and you just try to do your best. But the journey has been, like every other industry, it's been tough, but worth it. That's what I should be, worth it.
Okay, it's been worth it.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask, when you step on stage, what determines the kind of joke you even tell? What's the factor you look at? Maybe you step on stage now, the first time you see like a crowd. What do you look out for? Okay,
so before I step on stage, I already know the kind of people in the audience.
Maybe it's impromptu. They just pick you up from nowhere. Say, guy, come.
Before I get on stage, at least I would have heard one or two people speak. So I'm going to now pick one or two things. Yeah. You have to be spontaneous. But first things I will always do is that I always have this first trusted joke that will make anybody in the world laugh. So once you do that, everybody laugh, you already have that safe landing. And then you now try your spontaneous work and you do your crowd work, but you still work with the audience. There are times you tell a joke and that you expect to be funny.
Yeah.
But that environment made it to be unfunny. You now have to find something else. Yeah. So sometimes you just have to create a joke on the spot and it always works.
Okay, that experience, have you had that experience recently where maybe you told a joke and nobody laughed?
No, I'm bigger than that now. But it happened to me in 2008.
2008?
I can't forget.
What show was that?
So some youth called me Marcelino said that Forever we have this event at the 2 divisions officers mess.
They bragged, the military.
They bragged about me that this guy is good, this guy is funny. So I had this solid set of 4 jokes then.
Yeah.
Because I was just starting. Told the first one inside officers mess, nobody laughed. I told the second one, nobody laughed. That was when I started noticing that the guard room is not far from the hall. I told the third one, the fourth one. That's how I started dancing. And they started laughing. I said,
wait, you started dancing?
Yes.
They started laughing?
I had this funny dance step then. So I started dancing and till today I didn't have some balance. Now I let it go. That I came out, it's okay first. So,
okay. All right. Let me try and get myself together. Okay, now let's talk about the emergence of, skit makers. I think it's been a major, part of the industry that has grown now. Yeah. Would you say the emergence of, skit makers has sort of affected stand-up comedy? Because I noticed we've had a decline in, comedy shows like what it used to be when people would queue up to pay for tickets. You have, all halls in Lagos filled up with comedians doing their own, gigs. Yeah. But would you say skit-making sort of, affected the once thriving industry like stand-up comedy?
So I don't think skit-making affected it in that way.
Okay.
What I would say is that skit-making made comedy a bigger industry. It's more like saying that we have a doctor who is a surgeon, we have a dentist. Both of them are doctors, but are working in different departments. Okay. So these skit makers are actors, but they are comedians. The example I always like to use is, nobody can say Nkem is not a comedian. He's a comedian, but he doesn't do stand-up but he's an actor. So what the reason for like you said, the decline in people buying tickets, going for shows, is not really because they are skit makers. It's probably because the economy is tougher, so people have to prioritize. Do I really deserve to laugh this month? Can I not laugh this laugh later? This laugh is one pot of soup. Yeah. Can I withstand this? Will this laughter feed me? So the economy is a bit tougher for some people. And then most people started seeing that comedy shows were no longer bringing value. Now you pay for a show, you go to the show, you hear the joke a comedian said last week at another show, at this show, told by a different comedian. So it was more like recycling.
Okay, recycling, right?
Yeah, so people were tired that I'm hearing the same thing over and over from different people. Who is the owner? Are they from families? Is it a family that is a family joke?
Yes.
So those are other things that affected, but it was not skit makers. The skit makers only took advantage of a thriving digital age, which is why I keep saying every stand-up comedian, that platform is open for you. You have Instagram. Post your jokes. Let people laugh. It's as simple as
but
that.
I've noticed one thing. I mean, no disrespect to comedians that do skit making, but if you notice the amount of effort that skit makers they're not stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
They put in more effort in the skit making than comedians will even do to actually. I've seen a few comedians try, but they are not as funny as when you see them live on stage cracking that joke. So I don't know if I'm not trying to say that you're not funny, but just get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. So the reason for that is I think Nigerians, as a group of people, we have a particular definition of what something should be. So for the average Nigerian, the definition of a comedian is only somebody who gets on stage, holds a mic, and perform. But that's not exactly correct.
Not, yeah.
So Nkemowo is a comedian. So the reason a lot of skit makers were not going on stage to perform, I think, was pressure from their fans that we want to see you come on stage. But for example, one of my friends, MC Lively, if you call MC Lively for an event, he will tell you, I'm not a stand-up comedian. I can host your event as a funny MC, but I'm not a stand-up comedian. So he would rather recommend another person who is a stand-up comedian for you to use at your event. So I think that is what they should do. If you know you are, but there are a few of them who do skit and are strong in stand-up as well. Yeah. There are others who are not good in stand-up, but they can actually host event properly. So yeah, I just feel it was pressure from Nigerians that, let me go and crack joke. They now forgot that it was cut, action. This one no cut, action, till you cut.
Yeah, it's actually true.
Yeah.
Okay, now, like in music, we have, I'll say, a categorization. Like, you know how you have gospel musicians or ministers, you have secular ministers or musicians. In the comedy business, it's not like that, but there's been this conversation online about, I'm sure you know about it, you know, a pastor saying that gospel ministers, they are charging too much. Now, for comedy, I noticed, this is me doing my own little observation, I noticed that there are some comedians that they only invite to churches, while there are some like yourself that they invite to churches and even regular events. Now, is there like some sort of, I don't know, maybe like a little bit of profiling for comedians? Then, what determines the kind of show comedians get? I don't know if you understand. Like, okay, now you have, then also, when you get invited to churches, do you charge?
There are churches I don't charge. I will tell you my own. There are churches that I know that they will not use their church mind. So
they will not use their church mind?
I will not charge them with my mind. Are you getting it? Because if you leave it to let them use their mind, you will regret using their mind.
Okay, so if you leave it to them, okay, you know what, decide what you want to give me or what I'm worth.
Let me tell you, nobody knows what you're worth. Even me, I don't know what I'm worth. That's why you increase your fee as time goes on. Your mind will tell you that I'm worth more now. Because I don't know my exact worth. I'm being honest. Nobody in this world knows their exact worth. That's why prices change. So there are times I've gone to certain church where I say, use your mind. And at the end, I was like, do these people really have mind? Because this mind that they use, there's no mind. That's stone. It's stone that spoke to them.
Let me ask you, don't call the church name, but give me an example of a time you've gone to, let me call it minister now, because in church they say you are ministering. You've gone to minister in church and they appreciated you. Let me just say did that, but it wasn't tangible. Give me an example of what was given to you. Don't call the church name, just give me an example.
This is very ridiculous. So in 2007, I was paid 50 naira by church.
50 naira?
Yeah. I thought it was a joke until another person was bringing 50 naira mint. The first guy said, we've paid him. That's when I done with that, bro. This is your what, oh? I left it with church mind. So what I do now is that when the church calls me, I'll tell you that, bro, I don't charge church, but I like to know what you want to give me. Okay. If it's not worth it for me, I say I cannot come. Because to be very honest, the reason they're calling you is not because you are the only funny person, it's because they trust the expertise that you've mastered over the years. And that should count for something. So that's why if you see me, I've not put my mouth in whether music artists you should charge. It's their fee. If they want to let them die. This is my own. I will thank God every time. Thank God I'm a comedian. They even say they should ban us from church. So I don't. But there are certain churches I will charge you. Because like I said, I know
that you'll be ridiculed.
Of course, there was the big church in, this was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. And they said forever, we're doing our Gio's birthday, and they know that the man loves me. And if that man called me by himself, they say they're using me to surprise him. So for you to use me to surprise him, you should rate me in the... That's how we finish.
As they surprised me too.
And they surprised me with what they said to me. And I was not surprised. I was shocked. I was dumbfounded. They sent me 150,000. I say, wait too. I left Lagos. Center of excellence, we're going to collect 150 somewhere else.
In what state is this?
It's in the east. Let you live like that.
In the east.
I was going to say, where are the wise men that came from the east? Is it that they carried all the money and left, or what? Till today, that person does not know how much they used to surprise him with me.
Are you serious?
Because I can't tell him, because if I told him, he would have been really angry with them. But to them, he should just take it that is his own. That's the word I don't like. Let it be his own contribution. Did you tell me to do you know what I want to contribute to the birthday? They are saying take it as your own contribution. I don't want to contribute, pay my money. If I want to contribute, I will contribute personally outside. Okay. So, but sometimes you just have to. That's why I make it safe for myself. What are you giving me?
Just to be safe.
Just to be safe.
Okay. Before I ask you my next question, what's the highest fee a church has paid you?
I can't say that.
You can't say that.
I can't say it on TV
heavy.
because he's heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah. That's why I say I don't charge certain churches, because to say I won't talk, I would have said something lower than that one. Yeah.
I can guess a few churches, but let me leave it that.
Let's continue.
Okay, so we'll soon be wrapping up. But you have a show this weekend.
Yes.
Tell us about your show and what should people expect?
Okay, so I have a show titled No Safe Space. So I expect magical humor. Yes, let me use that word, because I did my special my last one I did was in 2023, Stereotypes. Yeah. So last year I took a break and because I was just traveling the world. I said, let me go and see other places.
Oh, you're traveling the world?
Yes, I was traveling the world.
Plenty money.
I went to do tour now.
Yeah,
now. Crack joke in Canada and other places. So, but this year I'm back with my next special, No Safe Space, and people have been asking me why the title No Safe Space. Yeah. And I said because the world has become so sensitive that if you want to say certain things, you have to take permission from who you're speaking with and say, is this a safe space? To say what you want to say. If they say no, you keep quiet. So I'm saying this is a no safe space. So I don't need the permission. There are a lot of things I want to talk about.
Okay, so in other words, like, let me guess, because you do a lot of stand-up in churches. So now, in case the church people come, and people from, let me put it in quotes, the world come. Everybody will collect.
No, there are sensitive topics that I feel we've not handled properly that we need to talk about, but everybody is afraid of saying it. But of course, it is humor. You are going to laugh, but then you are going to get the message undertone, the laughter. So it's a show you should not miss. It's a comedy special you should not miss.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it starts by 6 p.m. I can see the flyer there. Yeah. 6 p.m. Muson Center. Okay, is there any deduction for early birds?
It's already late because early birds are flown away. It's already late. So there's a Sunday that we're doing early bird. It's already late.
So early birds don't fly?
No, the only thing early about the show is come on time, because my shows, to be honest, are the shows that start the earliest in Lagos.
Okay.
So when I say 6, it's not at 6 o'clock, that's when you now beat. The doors open at 5.
But you know, sometimes you can't control these things, especially if you have a wife. If madam no bar didn't go.
And let your wife start betting by 2. So
by 2.
No, because we have a few freebies for the first 100 people coming. We have one of our sponsors that will give them perfumes.
Oh, perfumes?
Yes. The first 100 to enter inside the hall. Not be saying you can't parabulate around. You have to take your wristband and get into the hall, and it was okay. No, you've entered the hall. Because we actually start early. Because I understand that my crowd, most especially are professionals, and you have to go to work the following day. So we start early to close early.
Okay, all right. You've heard it all from Forever. Thank you so much for the enlightenment on the church situation. Yeah. I wouldn't ask you for that. I know that. I mean, you're doing well in churches. I won't lie. So I'm trying even to think about the kind of jokes you will crack. But I mean, I will be there. We'll see. Yeah. All right. So that's it with Forever Comedian.